So in this video, I will share 30 different ways that you can set aside cash in this year. So these are 30 functional tips. I'm going simply rattle off every one of them here. How about we feel free to get everything rolling with this video? Ensure you buy into the channel to see more recordings like this. So the main way to save cash is use the 24-hour rule. Basically, whenever that you're making a buy north of $100, consider it for 24 hours before you proceed to get it. This assists with staying away from unconstrained buys that perhaps later you'll have purchasers regret or laments. So require that 24 hours and spend it to contemplate what if you will really purchase that thing. And afterward, if you actually have any desire to get it after that 24-hour range, then you can go through and buy that thing. Utilizing this 24-hour rule has saved me a huge load of cash over an extended time. The subsequent tip is to design each supper for the week. Assuming you supper prep and you plan the feast, Kais will assist you with trying not to need to settle on an excessive number of choices at whatever point you get eager. So plan your suppers, plan your lunch, perhaps plan your morning meal for the following week. Also, you will set aside such a lot of money since you must go out and eat out. Or on the other hand, you must go on as numerous outings to the supermarket at whatever point you get eager. So exceptionally extraordinary and significant hint not too far off. Tip number 3 for setting aside cash, wear a similar garments consistently. Presently, I don't mean like really wear a similar definite shirt consistently. At the end of the day, work on your style. So assuming you watch my recordings over the beyond 4 or 5 years, I wear similar dark shirt consistently, dark jeans. Also, obviously, I have 2 or 3 things that I'll toss on top of that as similar to add a smidgen of touch to it. However, generally, I wear a similar style garments consistently, similar to an animation character. Furthermore, this winds up setting aside a huge load of cash. So work on your style, you don't must have 200 unique shirts. What's more, truly, the vast majority couldn't care less. The vast majority simply care about how they look themselves. They don't for even a moment truly notice that I wear like a similar dark shirt as a base layer each and every day in dark jeans. So that is an incredible tip not too far off that you can utilize. However, one more tip here is hairstyles. So for instance, you could utilize something like muumuu, which you can put into the financial exchange. Furthermore, when you do this, you'll have cash auto remove. You can do this on like a week after week premise or each opportunity your check comes in. You can have cash emerging from there going into your exchanging account, your venture account. Thus it makes things significantly simpler. You don't actually need to consider it. It just consequently does that. It fits so well of auto-contributing, and simply having your cash auto removed with the goal that you don't for even a moment need to consider it. Presently, something else that you can do to set aside cash is to contemplate natural food and which ones are somewhat of a waste and which ones are significant. So obviously well-being is critical. I like to eat specific natural food sources, yet understand that not all natural food sources are truly going to merit your cash. Thus my guideline here is that any kind of organic product or vegetable that has a FIC, strip or skin on it, that I won't eat. I tend to not get natural. So for instance, similar to avocados, bananas, coconuts, things where you're not eating the skin, a great deal of those will quite often be alright in the event that you simply get standard and not natural. So basically my point here is that not everything has to be organic. You can get a good deal on that versus like apples. I would prefer to have natural apples since I'm eating the skin. That is a guideline. There's a few extraordinary graphs that separate this on. Like, what are the best vegetables to get that are not natural? You can get a good deal on those. What are some you should get? Okay, the following tip here is get a library card. No one purposes the library. I've been expressing this for like 4 years on this channel, get a library card. They have far beyond books. They have motion pictures, they have a wide range of various things, PCs, right, web. Furthermore, obviously, books too, concentrate on guides, such countless various things from your nearby library, and it's all going to be free. So if it's not too much trouble, simply go to your library, ask them what they have. You will be astonished. Some of the time they have a few insane rentals that you can get. You can lease PCs, you can lease like a wide range of hardware cameras. You can lease from my nearby library. So they have such countless assets that individuals don't exploit. Simply go look at your neighborhood library. I don't believe you will think twice about it. Okay. So one more tip here, no shopping when you're eager. This is an immense guideline for me. I won't go to the supermarket on an unfilled stomach, since when I do that, I wound up burning through 2 times as much cash on food since I'm ravenous. So everything looks great. Gracious, hot pockets. Indeed. Kindly battle. I'll go and simply snatch everything. Furthermore, it's really exactly the same thing. They simply make it look prettier and cooler in these Tide cases. So skirt the units and simply go for something like the powdered cleanser. What's more, that goes for a ton of cleanser also. I get a ton of bar cleanser instead of getting 30 distinct kinds of cleansers in my restroom. I'll simply have perhaps a few distinct sorts and afterward bar cleanser. However, you're getting significantly additional worth from an overall, good. The following stage here, eat less meat. Presently this doesn't imply that you need to turn into a veggie lover, yet measurably talking, meat costs more cash than different sorts of protein, plant protein. So like I said, you don't need to turn into a veggie lover, yet assuming you think about eliminating meat, perhaps a smidgen, and having it just like 1 time each week or 2 times 7 days, instead of having like a steak each and every evening, you will see a gigantic expense decrease in your food costs. On the off chance that you simply eat less meat. Furthermore, obviously you could just turn into a total vegan too. That is absolutely dependent upon you. I won't pass judgment on individuals in the event that they are or alternately are not. That is absolutely dependent upon you to do that, however setting aside you cash is going. Assuming you cut down on how much meat that you eat, simply ensure that you're actually getting your supplements in general. Okay. One more tip here, cut down on memberships. There are such countless memberships out there, right? Since such countless individuals have Netflix, Amazon like Hulu, Disney, in addition to like I could name off presumably 12 distinct memberships that most families have. What's more, here and there they don't for even a moment truly use them without question. So I don't utilize Netflix all the time. I don't utilize Spotify all the time by the same token. So those were a few things that I truly chose to remove since I simply don't actually utilize them. Presently there are some that, obviously you can choose if you need, and perhaps you might really get on the family gets ready for a portion of those, as for instance, Apple Music. You can simply bounce on a family plan for certain companions or your family and set aside a ton of cash, instead of just everyone getting their own membership. So go through your MasterCard bills, go through your financial balance bills, take a gander at your memberships and see, what would you be able to cut? What do you truly not use? What are you not getting that worth out of? And afterward proceed to cut that. The subsequent stage is to change your own oil and fix your vehicle. Yourself. Vehicles are incredibly costly. I was stunned when I figured out the number of individuals really pay others to change their oil, to change the liquids in their vehicle, to change their tire. So rather than getting Kellogg, you can simply get like Walmart brand oat. Furthermore, it's exactly the same thing, as I would like to think, good, this one's going to ridiculously set off certain individuals. However, it's to stop caffeine that can cost huge load of cash. I know individuals who love espresso, they drink it consistently. No issue with that. In any case, if you need to set aside a few cash and you can't escape caffeine, then perhaps consider eliminating it so that you have no sort of reliance on caffeine. Furthermore, I realize I absolutely like set off certain individuals there. However, it's valid. Like, since that happened to me in the past where I would get on like these espresso hawks and I would simply require my espresso each day, when I'd awaken. Also, in the event that I didn't have it, I'd need to go out and get it. Assuming I was voyaging or something, I would simply need to go out and purchase that espresso. Furthermore, it can unquestionably add up, particularly to set aside some cash. Then consider cutting caffeine since then you cut that reliance from espresso or tea or whatever else you feel like you could require. Right now, obviously you don't need to do all of these tips. These are only a lot of various thoughts. So assuming you say no, screw that, I'm continuously going to drink espresso, that is totally fine. Good. These are simply ideas and thoughts for individuals. So not coming at you here, with the espresso thing. Alright. So another here is to consider, simply beginning a nursery in your terrace. So my sibling does this. He just did this the previous summer. Furthermore, he has such countless tomatoes. Like he actually has them, and it's January. Thus he froze a ton of them, canned a ton of them. Also, a ton of his vegetables that he filled in the late spring, he's actually eating today, 4 or after 5 months. So he stays most likely, I would speculate, about least many dollars, since he has a nursery in his terrace. It's not even that large of a nursery, however it works in it saves him least scarcely any $100 each year. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumb up and share with your friend. Thank you for watching.